Hi friends, welcome to my channel. So after my last week's video, one of my viewers has sent me a question and the question was very interesting. So I thought I'd share, as well as answering him directly, I thought I'd share the answer with you as well. So the question is by Virish Patil. Thank you so much for your question, Virish. So he says, welcome back on YouTube, very informative video. Thank you so much. If someone wants to put or invest money for just 2 years, what do you suggest him or her should do with that money? I am sure putting it in 100% equity ISA may not be desirable in this case. So Virish wants to know where to put a lump sum of money for just 2 years. So the time frame is very short. So some of you may already know, I am a trained financial coach. So as a financial coach, I cannot specifically tell you that this is exactly what you should do with your money. So what I've done instead is I've given you 6 different scenarios, Virish, on what you can do with your money. And then depending on the pros, I'll go through the pros and cons on each scenario. And you can definitely make an informed decision by the end of this video. So Virish, since you've not told me how much you would like to invest, I've just assumed that you have a lump sum of £5,000 to invest. So I can show you the sums with the 6 different scenarios. And if it's a bigger number or a smaller number, the maths will be the same. And I've taken a number specifically because numbers really don't lie. It is just a matter of fact. It's black and white. So numbers do not lie, and that's why I've taken a number to show you the examples. So scenario number 1 is to leave the money in the bank account. So as we all know, money left in a bank account is really earning no interest at all. So as per the ONS, the Office of National Statistics, as of March 2022, the inflation sits at an astounding 7%. And that is the latest figures published. They usually do it a month in arrears. So the April figures will come out in May and so on and so forth. I'm just going to take the 7% and I'm going to run some numbers on an inflation calculator. I'll put this link in the description box below if you want to do your own numbers. So if you put it in sterling pounds and a savings of £5,000, money is kept in for 2 years and the inflation at 7%. So that is just with 2 years of inflation and a loss of over £630. So in just 2 years, you've lost £630 with money just sat in the bank account. So scenario number 2 is what you were saying, 100% equity ISA. So if you do not know what an equity is, there is 2 portions of a balanced portfolio. There is equity and there is bonds. Equity is just shares of different companies. So the S&P 500 is the 500 biggest companies of America. So that is a 100% equity share. So there is something else called bonds. So the bond element is sort of loans to companies and governments around the world. So governments, all the governments need money to run, businesses need money to run. So we loan them the money and in return they give us some interest rate. So for loaning them that money, so that is called the bond element. Equity is where all the growth is, but some people like to add bonds in their portfolio to sort of to even out the ups and downs. So 100% equity share where there is a lot of growth expected. Roughly it's been shown over several years that the long-term growth of 100% equity share is between 7 and 10%. So let's just, in this example, let's just assume that is the higher rate of 10%, and anything less can only be worse than that, isn't it? So I'll run a compound interest calculator. Again, I'll put a link to this compound interest calculator in the description box below if anybody wants to run their own numbers. So if you put an initial balance of £5,000 and an interest rate of 10%, the higher interest rate of 10%, and number of years is 2 years, and there is no further deposits made. And if you calculate it, money is grown by £1,100. So now our current balance after 2 years is £6,101. But we all know that markets go up and markets go down throughout the year. And currently the market is at an all-time low because of the unfortunate events happening in Ukraine and things. So I'll move on to scenario number 3, which is having only 20% equity and 80% bonds. So like I previously said, the bond element is very stable and the equity element is very unstable. So the more bonds you have, the more stable your portfolio is. But the more bonds you have, the less growth you have as well. So you're sort of balancing both. So in this scenario, 80% is in bonds and only 20% is in equity. So the average growth of a 20% portfolio is usually around 5%. So again, we'll run the numbers on a compound interest calculator. So if we go back and change the interest rate to 5%, and all the rest of the numbers remain the same. And if you run the calculator, you've made about £500 in 2 years. So this is not a bad option, is it? You've not lost money. You've made about £500, which is better than scenario number one, where you lose money year on year. But I'll move on to scenario number 4, and then you can definitely understand whether scenario 2 or 3 would be an option for you. So scenario number 4 is stock market is going through a downturn and it's lost about 40% of its value. So we all know that the stock market goes up as well as it goes down from time to time. It mostly goes up though. It goes up 75% of the times and it comes down about 25% of the times. So currently, as I previously told you, the market is at an all-time low. So you would think that now the only way is up. We don't know what the future holds, and we can only look back at history to see what has happened during the previous recessions. And I'll show you some examples. So back in 2020, during the COVID recession, the market dipped from the present level. It continued dipping, and it dipped down about 39%, and then it started to come back up. And on its downturn, it went down for 45 days in a row, and then it did a U-turn and started to come back up. But the recession before that, the 2008 recession, the market dropped by 48%. Imagine, nearly 50% of the stock exchange is wiped out, and it continued dropping all the way for 17 whole months. And the recession before that, the dot-com bubble, again, it dropped by about 39%. So it continued dropping for about 39 months. And that was quite a long recession. It was over 2 years. So we really do not know what the market is going to do from here, if it's going to continue going down or if it's going to do a U-turn and come back up. We really do not know. We've got to wait and watch and see what the market is doing. But if you look back at history, the stock market has declined between 2 and 3 years in the past. So generally, it's been advised not to invest in the stock market if your time frame is under 2 to 3 years. It's over between 3 and 5 years, you should consider investing in the stock market. In this scenario number 4, you decided to invest in the stock market and went for a very low risk of 20% portfolio, but still the market has dipped by 40% and you needed your money in 2 years. Well, the money is still in a recession, so you've lost 40% of the value of your money. So your £5,000 is now reduced to £3,000. So there may be better options for your money, and I'll show you that in option number 5. But before that, if you're liking this video up to now, please give me the thumbs up like button and share this with a friend or family who might be interested in this sort of topic. So scenario number 5 is you put this money in a high interest savings account. So with this scenario, I'm making a few more presumptions. I'm assuming that you'll still come under the personal savings threshold. So for the personal savings threshold, there's 2 different things that comes into play. One is your tax rate, whether you're a higher tax band or a basic tax band, and if you are, how much savings you have. So if you're a basic tax holder, the maximum savings you can have is up to £85,000, and if you're a higher rate taxpayer, the maximum savings rate you can have to come under this personal savings threshold is £45,000. So to find out the best savings account and the best interest rate, I usually go to Martin Lewis's website, we know that Viresh wants to save the money for a period of 2 years. So if you go down, I would look at a savings account where you can fix your money. So fixed rate interest account, and you must lock away this cash. So if you lock away this cash, Alicia Bank gives you a 2.4% interest. So as you can see, Alicia Bank is protected by the FSCS regulation. So even though it's not a mainstream bank, the government is the money up to £85,000. So even if the bank was to go bust, your money will still be protected by the government. So this is a very safe account to put in your money in. So with this 2.4% interest, I then run the same compound interest calculator. And as you can see, after 2 years, the money is now 5,245. You made a profit of about £245. And the main thing is there is no risk involved at all. Your money is absolutely safe in the bank. Which brings me on to scenario number 6. In this scenario, you will have actually 2 different bank accounts running simultaneously. One is an easy access savings account and the second is a regular savers account. So in this scenario, you're not locking in your money as with the previous scenario. This is an easy access savings account. So again, if you go on to Martin Lewis's website, the best easy access savers account is 1.5% with a Chase bank account. So I've talked about this bank account in one of my previous videos as well. It is a new bank, app-only based bank that is available in the UK. It's been around only in the last 6 to 8 months. It's a big chain bank in the US. It's a very big chain bank in the US actually, and is only fairly new in the UK. So that's why you've probably not heard about it. So it gives you an interest rate of 1.5%. But I'm talking about running 2 things simultaneously. So in the first instance, open a Chase bank account and put your £5,000 lump sum in this Chase bank account, earning 1.5% interest, and then open a regular savers account. And I'll show you a regular saver. Regular saver is you invest money, put in money month on month. And again, the main focus for this option is easy access. You don't want to lock in your money. You want access to your money at all times. Again, we are on the Martin Lewis website and regular savers account. If you scroll further down, he has a very nice table that summarizes it all for you. So my main focus is to access the money penalty free. So the first option does not give me penalty free access. The second option gives me withdrawals penalty free, but it only allows me to invest £1,000 a year, which is not quite enough for me. The third bank down is again the same. It's only up to £1,000, which brings me on to the fourth option. So the Santander gives me penalty-free withdrawals, and I can deposit £200 a month, and it's fixed. The interest rate is fixed for 1 year, and so is Nationwide. It's the same. So although this does sound a little bit complicated, and there's a little bit more administration involved in this, it's really not complicated. So over the 2 years, it probably takes you about 2-3 hours of administration. You'll need to set it up first initially at the start of year 1, and then again at the start of year 2, because both these regular savers are fixed only for 1 year. So again at the start of year 2, you need to set it up all again. Your main £5,000 lives in the Chase bank account, and you have a regular saver both with Nationwide as well as Santander, and the maximum you can put in is £200 a month. Again, on Martin Lewis's website, he has a regular saver calculator. I want to drip feed my lump sum, and you want to do it actually I'll do it over 1 year, because I'm sure this if you do £400, £200 to both the bank accounts, the money will run out in 1 year. It becomes about 4,800. I did the maths earlier, and I've invested a lump sum of £5,000, and the interest rate is 1.5%. So that is in my Chase bank account. And then I do a regular saver. So across the 2 banks, I'm going to put £200 each, so £400 in total, and the interest rate is 2.5%, and calculate. So as you can see, over a 12-month period, you'll get £100. So if you do that again in year 2, that you can double that. So you'll get about £200 of interest payment. So yes, compared to the previous scenario, you get a little less money. In the previous scenario, it's about 250, and in this scenario, it's £200. So it's about £50 less, but you get access to your money at all times, and again there is no risk involved. So if your main focus is on less administrative work, then yes, your the 2 years fixed deal seems a good option. If your main focus is on having access to your money while getting the best interest, then this last scenario is the best option for you. So I'm going to throw in a bonus seventh scenario, which is the lifetime ISA. So I know, Vinesh, you've not told me that you're saving for a house. You could be saving for maybe a car, or maybe to go on a nice holiday, or maybe even getting married, goodness knows. But in case somebody watching this is saving that deposit for their house, then this lifetime ISA is a great option. Let me run the numbers again with the £5,000 deposit. So as you know, lifetime ISA you can open under the age of 40. You can invest up to a maximum of £4,000 per year, and the government tops it up by an extra £1,000 a year. So let's say in year one you deposit this £4,000 of the 5,000 that you originally have, and the government tops it up by an extra 1,000. And in year two, the additional 1,000 that is left, you deposit it in year two, and then the government tops it up by 250. So it's about 20% of the 1,000. So but at the end of year two, you've got 6,250. So an additional £1,250, and that is not even including the interest rate on the 1,250. Currently, Moneybox is the account with the highest interest rate for a lifetime ISA. So the 0.85%, if I add that to the compound interest calculator that I previously showed you, that is an extra £95 of interest. So roughly £100 interest. So just by using a lifetime ISA for 2 years with this with your £5,000, you're getting roughly about £1,300 extra at the end of 2 years. I can hear some of you saying that I've not talked about the cash ISA, but again, if I look on the Martin Lewis's website, the top cash ISA for this year, the maximum interest rate you're getting on a cash ISA is about just over 1%, 1.05%. And like I showed you, the easy access account, you're getting much more money than that. So cash ISA is not an option for most of you. Nilesh, I hope this different scenarios make sense to you. Please re-listen to this again and really go through the different options, and then decide what you would like to do with your money. And let me know in the comments below as well what you've decided to do with your money. If you've been watching this up to now, and if you'd like this video, please give me the thumbs up like button and share this with your family and friends. Please give me some love. It encourages me. And if you have any questions like Nilesh, either drop me an email or drop it in the description box in the comment section below, and I'll surely get to it. So until next time, stay safe. Bye-bye.